Hello everyone. Today I'm making this video about Nixos. If you would have noticed, I made a video about Nixos a few days ago, and I felt like it just wasn't really a good video, so I decided to make a re-upload. And I'm gonna look at it from a different angle. I mean, in my previous video, I had a title, but I just spoke about it wasn't really connected too much. In this video, I'm going to talk about how Nixos can be the perfect OS for the average desktop Linux user. So yeah, this is my script. So first, we're going to talk about how good the package manager is. I really like Nix packages, and currently I think that you can probably get more packages than Pacman plus the AUR on Nix. Fact, if I go here, you get like more, you can search more than 120,000 packages, and that's in okay, I don't know if you can check channels or if that has anything to do with this, but still, like, that's really good. So if I, for instance, like in my previous video I said that there wasn't a Google Chrome package. There is one. I just didn't check. I mean, if you're using this, sure, you could get this. I just use Firefox now, so I won't care anyway, but that's pretty good. You can get pcom Pidulus, and when I was on Fedora, I was complaining that I couldn't really get this proper pcom fork, and I think this could be quite good because it seems to have quite a few features the last time I checked this. Anyway, you can get a lot of packages. Also, Nix just a really good package manager in general, because not only can you get a lot of packages, but you can also specify the channels and everything. I mean, I don't need to do that, but yeah, you could if you wanted to. The Nix package manager is also just like a really fast package manager in my experience. Like, it just installs things way faster. Maybe that's just me being more productive because I just type everything out in one go and then it installs everything easily. I mean, you can obviously do that in other distros too, but sometimes you have to install some things in a different way, like not using Pacman. Sometimes Nixos is just the Nix package manager is so convenient because typically just auto fetches dependencies. Because like if I show you this, you can see that I have manim over here. Now that's a Python library, and it's kinda, I mean, it's not really hard, but I mean, it's definitely harder to install than the average Python library because it's quite big and it has many dependencies and stuff. And if you were to do this on the traditional Linux distro, you'd have to first get all of the dependencies from that distro's package manager, and then you'd have to get python-pipx or python-pip, and you do like a pipx install manim or pip install manim -break -system packages. This is mostly if you're like Debian or Arch or something. If you're on Fedora, I don't think you need to do this, but yeah. Point is, in Nixos, all I needed to do was just type manim, and then I just got manim. I also had to get Python 3, but that's it. I didn't need to do anything else. It's just so convenient that way. Like the basic things are just so super convenient to do in NixOS. It's actually impressive for like the average Linux desktop user. So that's the first point, package manager. Next, it's fast, stable, and reliable. You can get decent driver support. I think that I got my network drivers and stuff like that out of the I mean, I get many of those in other distros, but sometimes they might just not be the exact drivers because they work, but not very well. Like sometimes if I'm on some certain websites which require more bandwidth and stuff, they just won't load properly. And recently I've noticed that they are actually loading quite well ever since I switched to NixOS. So in general you just get like good drivers and stuff. I'm gonna be testing this out better when I take my laptop out of my house and go to some online Wi-Fi place or something to see if that's a real issue. But I think at least from my what I can see so far, probably has better driver support. Another thing is that it's just compared to Arch, it was easier to get printing enabled. Now obviously it's not supposed to be that hard on Arch. I think it was just a me thing, because I've checked online and I've checked in the wiki and stuff, and it shouldn't have been that hard to get printing working. Like you shouldn't have to install too much. Now this is all I needed to do in Nixos, and I think these firewall ports might also be connected to the printer things. Yeah, this is all I need to do, and it works. It just works. Like there's not much to say about it. It works really well, and I'm happy with it. And for the most part, that's NixOS. If you specify something to work, if you declare something to work in the config file, it would just work, because that's just the way this OS works. It's supposed to work if you declare it, and if you declare it properly, and it will work even if you like go to another distro and just like restore your config or something like that. That's why this kind of system of doing the config stuff, it actually works quite well for a normal user. So I'm going to talk more about how you can reproduce stuff using Nixos. So I first installed this on my old laptop because I wanted to see if Nixos could even be a viable option for me, because the first time I'd installed Nixos, I didn't like it that much. It seemed kind of tedious. Now though, I think I really fell for Nixos. I'm not even using many of its actual features. This is legit just the base config. I'm barely utilizing anything Nix related. Like there's so many people who'd be doing Flakes and Home Manager, and many of them would be configuring their hyperland from the Nix configuration. I don't even have hyperland. I quit tiling window managers because they weren't really the way I actually good at working with my PC. I typically just have like one window open, so I didn't really need it, I realized. And the point is, like, there are so many powerful ways to use NixOS, and I don't even need to do that. You don't need to do it typically as a desktop Linux user. Now, anyway, as I was saying, One way reproducibility is cool is say you got a new laptop, or I know you wanted to test this OS on a previous laptop just to see if it's even good, and then you're like, hey, this is pretty good and I want to install it on my actual laptop. So on a normal distro you'd have to type out every single command again to set up everything, and then you have to go into settings, whatever. In Nixos, I mean, you just copy this this one file and make it replace the configuration.nix in the graphical installation that you get by default in the graphical installation of Nixos, and then you're done. You get basically the same setup. That's so powerful. It's actually, I mean, I know you can get, many people might just like make bash scripts where they just install everything, and in a way you could basically just get reproducibility on Arch or Debian or like basically any other distro. But first off, this is inbuilt in Nixos. I didn't make a bash script. This is just how NixOS works. And because that's just how it works, it's also like more stable. Like this is literally the way how you install stuff and like do stuff in Nixos. Like it just works better because of that. And another cool thing about Nixos is that you can try out packages really easily. So for instance, say you want to install something, but maybe it's just for a one-time use. I'm sure on Arch you can just like paru-s, I don't know, Kitty. I'm gonna use Kitty as an example. You just want to install Kitty and then you want to remove it. Say you don't even want it to be like that. You want it to only exist for you only want it to exist in that one shell while it's open. Don't worry, there's an exact command for that. Next shell -p and Kitty as an example, and then you'll just get it. And that's how quickly I just got another application. And this is all temporary, because say I don't want to keep Kitty. If I just even if I just open another shell, type Kitty from here, it's not there. I don't have Kitty anymore. It was perfectly temporary. That's something really cool about Nixos. Like you can understand, like it was basically just made for developers, but it's just things like that which could actually be really useful for the average desktop Linux user, and I think that's really cool. And another thing about the ease of use of NixOS, if you search up the NixOS installation, I think this is the wrong place. Yeah, download this link I installed it from. You just install it from here. You can obviously get the minimal one, but you can also get a graphical one, which is really nice, you know. I mean, sure, many OSs come with one, but typically the advanced ones don't. This is a relatively advanced Linux distro that does come with a graphical ISO, which is cool. Now, you would have noticed that you can just get the Nix package manager on any OS apart from NixOS. So, you know, what's the point of using NixOS rather than, let's say, I don't know, Arch? Okay, think about it this way. the difference is that, say you're on Arch, you do things the Arch way, and then you also have the Nix package manager. It's almost basically like, in that scenario, Nix is basically just as powerful as Flatpaks are. Like, you can get some Nix packages the way you can get some Flatpaks. There's not much more than that. Sure, you can also do a temporary thing, but not much else. When you're Nix OS, you can also configure system services through this file. Like, for instance, I was talking about how I did printing from here. You can enable certain firewall ports from here. You can enable sound services, Bluetooth. You can specify some things your user can do on free repos. I mean, that's just Nix, but yeah, so you could do that anywhere. GTK theme, fonts. You can do a lot from here. Local, time zone, everything. Your network host name, your bootloader config. I mean, this is STboot, but yeah, you can do your bootloader config from this. You can basically do anything that you would normally do from some random file in your etc directory, all in this one configuration.nix file. So it's really powerful that way, and in a way it's easy because you do not have to remember too many directories. I mean, you just do everything from here. So all your configurations done in this file in one format, which is the Nix language. So yeah, it can be easy if you're not really used to anything, then you know the traditional Linux way. Now, some tips. If you're a new user, I'd recommend just going for graphical first and watching some video guides and stuff, because it has a bit of a learning curve even if you're just using it the way I am. I'm definitely not utilizing the full extent of this OS, but I don't need to. This is all I need to do to get it work the way I want it to. Another thing is that if you want, okay, there is one thing about Nixos, and I don't really understand it at all, but basically Nixos is not FHS compliant, I think that's the word, and that just means that some programs that require that wouldn't work very well on NixOS. So what you can do, sometimes there's a dash run command, like say you want to play Steam, you'd have to do Steam dash run from the terminal, and that should do it. Now the only thing that I was using which required that was VS Code. I mean, not actual VS Code, VS Code doesn't require it, but the extension that I could use to compile stuff using my JDK in VS Code, that definitely required FHS compliance because it just won't load without that, and I was just at a loss, like what do I do? And then I go into NixOS search and I find out that there's something called VS Code-FHS, and I just installed it, and this is all I really needed to do. That was it. There was nothing else to do. It just worked then onwards. So yeah, just make sure that whatever you're using doesn't require this, and if it does, try to figure out a way to actually get it run. So yeah, that's basically all that I recommend. Also, you can go into your terminal. Let me use full screen. And you can do man configuration.nix, and this is like a terminal manual for Nixos. You have basically it's a good starting config. Definitely, it's good to use in the start. I just scrolled to the end. So yeah, that's NixOS. maybe a bit more complex than the standard traditional Linux distribution, but good, stable. Yeah, that's definitely Nixos. So yeah, I think I'm done talking for today. This is my KDE Rise. I know it looks kind of like Windows, but like I'm just gonna be working now, so I don't really care much. So yeah, see ya.